Have you ever noticed how some people naturally command attention? Both admiration and jealousy, no matter where they go? Gemini is the zodiac sign that most embodies this magnetic presence. There's something undeniably captivating about them. They don't just enter a room, they shift its energy. Their brilliance, their adaptability, their quick wit. They don't try to be unforgettable, they simply are. And this, quite often, ignites curiosity, respect, and yes, even envy. Gemini carries the essence of duality, of movement between extremes with grace and ease. They're ruled by Mercury, the planet of communication and intellect, which fuels their dynamic and multifaceted energy. Some admire them for it, others feel intimidated. But why do so many feel compelled to either praise or criticize Gemini? Is it just because they stand out? Or is there something deeper that stirs this emotional reaction in people? If you've ever wanted to understand why some people can't handle your light, or if you're a Gemini trying to harness your gifts, this video was made for you. Stay with us as we dive into the 15 reasons Gemini draws so much admiration and, yes, so much envy. This journey isn't just about Gemini. It's about the universal power of presence, of being unapologetically yourself. Speaking of self-reflection, think of a Gemini in your life. Maybe it's a friend, a family member, or maybe it's you. How do they make you feel? Energized? Inspired? A little challenged? That's no accident. Gemini has a rare ability to stir something in others, for better or worse. We're about to explore why that happens and how their traits can empower not only themselves, but anyone willing to learn. Before we continue, drop a comment if you've ever felt like your personality made others uncomfortable just by being authentic. If you're a Gemini, leave your birth date too. We'd love to connect with you in the comments and see who else shares your energy. Also, if you're enjoying this insight, make sure you hit the subscribe button to join us on this ongoing journey into self-awareness and cosmic wisdom. This isn't just another zodiac video. Each of the 15 traits we're about to explore can be powerful tools for your own growth, no matter your sign. And while Gemini may naturally embody them, these qualities can be studied, adopted, and practiced by anyone seeking to shine brighter in their own life. Let's begin with the core of Gemini's mystique, their natural charisma. When a Gemini walks into a space, you notice, not because they demand attention, but because their energy is impossible to ignore. It's the kind of allure that makes you lean in without knowing why. They're charming without trying, magnetic without effort. This effortless appeal often stirs admiration, but for those lacking self-confidence, it can trigger envy. Reason number 2, persuasive communication. Talking to a Gemini feels like entering a captivating dialogue, even if it's just a casual conversation. They instinctively know how to express themselves in a way that draws people in, and they adapt their tone and message with precision. It's more than just good conversation. It's influence. And deep down, many wish they had that same power. Third, sharp intelligence. A Gemini's mind never rests. They absorb, analyze, connect ideas faster than most people can follow. Whether solving complex problems or impressing others with their insight, their intellect is a superpower. If you've ever watched a Gemini talk circles around a complicated topic and make it sound easy, that's the kind of mental agility that inspires awe. Or jealousy. Fourth, incredible adaptability. Change doesn't rattle a Gemini, it fuels them. They can shift gears in the middle of chaos and still maintain their poise. While others cling to routine and predictability, Gemini thrives in transition. This flexibility isn't just impressive, it's enviable. Fifth, limitless creativity. Ideas flow from them like an endless stream. Gemini doesn't just think outside the box, they forget the box ever existed. Their vision is expansive and unconventional, and they know how to bring their ideas to life. It's this originality that makes them impossible to duplicate. And speaking of energy, that's reason 6, their contagious vitality. Being around a Gemini can feel like plugging into an emotional power source. They radiate enthusiasm, movement, drive. That spark often becomes a beacon for others, but can also make people feel like they're falling behind. If you're enjoying this breakdown so far, tap that like button. It's a small action that supports a lot. Let's keep going with reason 7, an insatiable curiosity. Gemini has an endless hunger to understand the world. They ask questions, explore new topics, chase information like it's oxygen. This curiosity makes them endlessly fascinating. And that thirst for knowledge? It's something many admire, but few sustain. 8th on the list, professional versatility. In the workplace, Geminis stand out as the kind of person who can learn quickly, adapt to any role, and bring a fresh perspective wherever they go. Their ability to multitask, switch between responsibilities, and master new skills makes them valuable in any team or position. But for colleagues who struggle to keep up, that same brilliance can feel threatening. Reason 9, powerful social connections. Geminis have a knack for building meaningful relationships. They know how to read a room, connect with different personalities, and maintain authentic bonds. Their network is often vast, filled with people from all walks of life. It's not just who they know, but how deeply they know them. That level of influence naturally draws attention and occasionally resentment from those who feel left out or overlooked. Next is reason 10. Resilience in the face of adversity. Geminis may be perceived as lighthearted and fluid, but beneath that exterior lies an incredible strength. When faced with setbacks, they bounce back quickly, not by denying their pain, but by learning from it. This ability to transform challenges into fuel for growth is both admirable and inspirational. 11th, irresistible spontaneity. Life with a Gemini is rarely predictable. They're spontaneous, surprising, and love to break routines in favor of exciting new experiences. Their willingness to live in the moment makes them magnetic, but also intimidating for those who feel stuck in rigid patterns. Reason 12. Emotional independence. Though highly social, Geminis are not emotionally dependent on others for their happiness. They find fulfillment in solitude as easily as they do in company. This balanced self-reliance is rare and deeply enviable, especially in a world where many crave constant validation. 13. Courage to change course. When something doesn't serve them anymore, Geminis don't cling, they pivot. That bravery to walk away, to start over, even if it means facing the unknown, is a mark of personal power. It takes a deep sense of self to choose growth over comfort. Many admire it from afar, but lack the same nerve to embody it. 14th, radiant authenticity. Geminis don't conform to expectations. They live their truth. Complex, imperfect, unfiltered, and they do so unapologetically. This kind of authenticity can rattle people who wear masks or hide their truth. But for those with eyes to see, it's the most beautiful form of freedom. 15th and final reason, inspirational presence. Being around a Gemini often feels like standing in front of a mirror that shows you who you could become. Their confidence, curiosity, and drive have a way of awakening the dormant fire in others. That's why, despite the envy they may provoke, Geminis also leave people wanting to be better. At this point, it's easy to understand why Geminis are often misunderstood. Each of these 15 traits is powerful on its own, but combined, they create a presence that's impossible to ignore. And whether you're a Gemini or not, these qualities offer lessons worth integrating into your own path. Because ultimately, this isn't just about one zodiac sign. It's about how all of us can tap into our potential and stop dimming our light for others' comfort. Gemini teaches us how to exist boldly, how to speak with conviction, and how to remain flexible in a world that demands both strength and softness. Pause and reflect. How often have you tried to shrink yourself to fit into a mold that didn't reflect who you truly are? Gemini refuses to be boxed in. Their dual nature isn't a flaw, it's a superpower. They show us that living fully means embracing contradictions, not erasing them. That might just be what stirs so much discomfort in others. In a world obsessed with labels and consistency, Gemini dares to be fluid, unpredictable, real. And there's something incredibly liberating about that. Maybe that's why, deep down, people don't envy what Geminis have, they envy the way they live. Stick with us as we explore even deeper what this all means, not just for Geminis, but for anyone ready to walk with greater courage, presence, and authenticity. When we really break it down, the traits that define Gemini aren't simply quirks, they're keys. Keys to a life of movement, freedom, curiosity, and unapologetic self-expression. These aren't just personality traits, they're a roadmap for living with more depth, more courage, and more joy. And that's the real magic here. You don't need to be a Gemini to learn from them. You just need to be willing to observe, reflect, and apply. Whether it's their confidence in communication, their gift for adaptability, or their resistance to stagnation, there are real, actionable lessons here for anyone who wants to evolve. Gemini teaches us that it's okay to change your mind. It's okay to start fresh. It's okay to explore 100 different interests and not apologize for being curious. In a world that often values certainty and predictability, Gemini reminds us that life is about exploration and that our most authentic self might live beyond the boundaries we've grown used to. And here's the thing, some people will feel uncomfortable around that. Your ability to grow, to shift, to express without shame, those things might challenge others who've built their identity around staying the same, but their discomfort isn't your responsibility. In fact, if you've made it this far into the video, you're probably someone who already feels a spark of that Gemini fire within you. Maybe you've always been the kind of person others couldn't quite figure out. Maybe you've been told you're too much or too changeable. If so, that's not a flaw. It's a sign you're alive, fully, fiercely, gloriously alive. By now, you've probably recognized at least one of the 15 reasons in yourself or in someone close to you. If you have, drop a comment and let us know which one hit home the most. If you're really vibing with this message, go ahead and type "I'm the GOAT" in the comments. We'll know exactly what you mean. And remember, this is a space where you're encouraged to be you, fully, boldly, without apology. And hey, if you haven't yet, don't forget to subscribe to Priceless Mind. We dive deep into topics like this all the time, exploring what makes people tick, what makes them shine, and how you can live a more powerful, meaningful life. Now, let's talk about what really makes Gemini unshakable. It's not just their charisma or wit, it's their willingness to embrace change, to start over, to grow. They don't cling to outdated versions of themselves. When something no longer fits, they release it. And that kind of fluid identity, that's rare. Most people cling. They stay in jobs they hate, relationships that shrink them, roles that don't honor their spirit. But not Gemini. Gemini listens to their inner compass, and when it says go, they go. That's power. That's trust. That's self-respect. And it's something we can all learn from. If you're in a place of transition, or if part of you is whispering that it's time to move on or grow beyond your current chapter, listen to that voice. It might be scary, yes, but it's also your truth trying to break free. What Gemini proves again and again is that change is not a threat, it's a teacher, a portal, a necessary step in becoming more of who you're meant to be. And let's not forget the importance of connection. Geminis don't just talk, they connect. They listen, reflect, engage. Their conversations are bridges, not monologues. They make people feel seen, heard, understood. And in a world full of noise, that kind of presence is rare. You don't need to be loud to be powerful. You need to be real. And Geminis are real. They don't wear masks to be accepted. They wear their truth, even if it means standing out, even if it means standing alone. And here's something else to reflect on. How much of your life has been lived trying to be understood? Gemini teaches us that the goal isn't to be understood, it's to be authentic, to live so honestly that even if others don't get it, you're still at peace. Gemini's example invites us to stop asking, "Will they accept me?" and start asking, "Am I accepting myself?" That shift in mindset, subtle as it seems, is the beginning of transformation. Because when you stop performing and start showing up as your whole self, you begin attracting the right people, the right opportunities, the right life. And that's the deeper truth behind all the admiration and all the envy Gemini tends to provoke. It's not just about the sign, it's about what the sign represents. A life lived in motion, in truth, in fearless evolution. A life that challenges the status quo and invites others to wake up to their own potential. Geminis are not here to follow the script. They're here to write new ones. They don't ask for permission to explore. They simply go. They make mistakes, they learn, they pivot, and through that process, they become more them. That's the kind of self-mastery that makes people pause or panic. If you ever felt like you had to dull your light to keep others comfortable, maybe this is your sign to stop. Maybe this is your reminder that your authenticity isn't a liability, it's your superpower. And maybe, just maybe, the envy you felt directed at you wasn't about you at all. It was about your freedom. So, which of these 15 reasons resonated the most with you? Which one challenged you? Which one inspired you? Leave a comment and let us know. Your story could be exactly what someone else in this community needs to read. And if this message lit something up in you, if it made you feel more seen or more powerful, take a moment to hit that like button. It helps this message reach more people and supports us in creating content with depth, purpose, and soul.
Gemini reminds us that life is meant to be experienced, not controlled. That curiosity isn't a weakness, it's a spark. That change isn't chaos, it's growth. And that true confidence doesn't come from perfection, it comes from alignment. And when you live like that, when you really let yourself be dynamic, curious, emotionally independent, and unapologetically you, you start noticing the world respond differently. You start attracting people who value your truth. You start living a life that feels like it actually fits. So whether you're a Gemini or someone simply inspired by their path, take what speaks to you and run with it. Use it. Apply it. Let it shift the way you walk through the world. And if you've made it to this point, thank you. Truly. Your presence here means you're not just a passive listener. You're someone seeking growth. Someone who wants to evolve, who wants to understand the forces within themselves and others. Make sure you're subscribed to Priceless Mind if you haven't yet. We've got more content coming that dives deep into topics of personal power, emotional mastery, astrology, and everything in between. You won't want to miss what's next. Tap the bell icon so you're notified the moment new insights drop. And if you know someone who needs this message, someone who's dimmed their light for too long, share this video with them. Let's spread awareness, not just about Gemini, but about what's possible when we live without fear of who we are. Until next time, remember this: your authenticity is your greatest power, and no one can dim that light unless you let them. Keep shining, keep growing, and keep being exactly who you are. No edits, no filters, no apologies. We'll see you in the next video. Stay bold, stay curious, and above all, stay real.